All right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. This is very exciting. I am Nargis Naqvi from My Voice Canada, a youth organization for the youth by the youth. I'm very pleased to be here with you all today on our first career workshop. My Voice is 8 years old and is a published and printed magazine along with many other initiatives that promote creative learning skills and positive representations of Muslims in Canada. Youth over the age of 14 get real skills on how to run an organization, and mentors over 21 years of age also benefit by becoming leaders. You can learn more about My Voice on our website, myvoicecanada.com, and don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Also, before I introduce another person, I'd like to say that today we have a lot of professionals here with us today, and we're going to be doing a lot of different things with them. So it's always so much more beneficial to have your videos on. I won't force you to do that, but it's just the Zoom world has started to become this big black screen. So if you can have your videos on, it makes it more interactive and just a lot more fun. So before I'm going to introduce a person who loves putting these human libraries together, like the one we have here today. Sakrani is a huge advocate for development and growth within the community. She volunteers her time in various organizations and high schools across the GTA. Her personal favorite is her passion project, where she hosts annual career workshops, just like today, for high school students, along with partnering with organizations such as My Voice. Sarah knows this can be a difficult time for many students, and her vision is to provide opportunities for students to connect with professionals who have firsthand experience and provide learning opportunities as students plan their own educational and career pathways. From a professional standpoint, Sarah has graduated from the UFT in business management and is currently completing a leadership rotational program at Walmart head office. So feel free to ask her about that if you're interested. Now over to you, Sarah. Take it up.
Awesome. Thank you, Sister Nargis. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully you all see it. All right. And I know we have a few other of our friends just joining in, so we'll let them get in. But thank you so much. Honestly, I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited for you to all meet the amazing professionals and speakers that we have here today. Like Sister Nargis mentioned, I know what it's like. I've been in your shoes not too long ago, and I love this opportunity where you get to ask all of your questions that you may have, and in a safe environment where, you know what, all of the speakers have also been in your shoes and they know what it's like. So we're here to help. So before we get into it, I have the pleasure before we do that, let's get into our Zoom feature. So I know a lot of you may already know, have been using Zoom for quite a while, but just a reminder, if you can all mute your mics, that would be amazing. I think that as much as I love doing these workshops in person, I think that Zoom also does, if we were to bring the bright side out of it, you have the opportunity of using all of these different features. And that way, you can answer all of your questions, even if you are a little shy or so forth. It's a great opportunity for you to network and just get a little out of your comfort zone. So our schedule for today, I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, which I'll do in a couple of minutes. And then, as you already know, we have 4 rotations that are happening today, and then we'll end off with closing remarks. So let's get started. So Anas Khan, I have had the pleasure and honor to work with him. I've known him from Walmart. He's a senior marketer there. And before that, he's actually had a really extensive portfolio in leading many marketing and branding projects across Walmart, including our gaming channel, digitalizing the company's communication methods, as well as leading conversations for technology. Before Walmart, Anas got a chance to work at Adidas Canada, where he led the implementation of FIFA World Cup campaign, as well as worked with Jameson Vitamins e-commerce platform. He's known for his storytelling and ability as an avid speaker, having worked with different topics such as youth, diversity, and self-branding. He's also the author of a book called The Game of Life, which looks at his early years in Canada. In his downtime, he loves to read and has done his Master's of Management from Schulich, as well as a Bachelor of Science in Neuropsychology from York University. So feel free to ask him about that. And without further ado, I'll turn it off to Anas.
Thank you, Sarah, for the nice introduction. And good morning, Slankum, everyone. How are you? I hope you all are doing well. I'm so excited to be here. I think, to be talking to you all virtually, of course, and I think as, we all probably feel the same, looking forward to a time and possibility when we can all connect in person. And, with that, I think it's a common saying to say that, 2020 has been quite the year, and a year that we all will remember, whether for good and bad and for other situations. And, I think we've all been impacted in, various ways, whether directly, indirectly, and as high school students and people who are going towards, this next phase of your journey and the start of this, next chapter as you navigate through university choices, career choices, and, starting to picture of potentially, how, your life, you look at your life and your career to pan out. It's a very stressful and honestly a bit scary at times. And I feel like it's a long time away, but just 9 years ago, when I was graduating grade 12, I was in the exact same spot as you all. While different life circumstances, I remember being in grade 12 and just thinking of like, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to be? And it's a big question, and it's a tough question, that takes time to answer. And, you may not have the answer right now, which is totally fine. And that's important to remember. You don't have to have the answers and the questions right now, but it's more about having the willingness to pursue those questions, to achieve those answers. And that's the key lesson that I think if you take anything away from here is that the willingness to pursue and try different things is important. And most importantly, it's never going to be a straight path. And if I look at where I wanted to be 10 years ago and where I am today, technically I should have been a doctor, but I'm not a doctor clearly. But in my talk today, I want to cover 4 things. And I'll keep it as short as possible so we can chat and answer some questions. But it's primarily around vision, failure, purpose, and service to community. These are the 4 things that I believe you all should remember as you navigate through this next phase of your life and your career, whether it's your professional life, your personal life. I think these will be impactful lessons for you all. So number 1, vision. Now, vision is a very essential thing in your path to success. And for myself, it's allowed me to think about where do I see myself in 2 years, 5 years, and even 10 years ahead. And in the future, to picture how you see your life, your career, your education, and more so yourself, evolve. Maybe you want to be a doctor, an entrepreneur, an artist, a salesperson, a business person, whatever it might be. Having a strong vision of who and what you want to be is essential. So take the time, over the weekend, over the next couple of weeks, and, think about what is it that you want to do or be in the future. And when you think of your vision, find the vision that excites you, but also scares you. And what do I mean by scare? Scare as in like a big vision, a big goal, something that when you think of it, it trickles down your spine. And it's because it's so ambitious, but also exciting and scary at the time. Find that vision. And for me, I've always had a vision of becoming someone, who would break the glass ceilings, question the norms, and be somebody different. And, thankfully, alhamdulillah, I've been able to do that on a daily basis through my work and my previous work. So with your vision, as I mentioned above, you need to think big and you need to think far and be scarily ambitious. Don't settle for less. That's the number 1 thing I want to tell you. Don't compromise your ability to become someone because of what your surroundings may be. Maybe, you have different life circumstances, personal circumstances, whatever it might be. Your surroundings do not define of who and what you want to be. And it doesn't matter where you come from. That's the most important thing. What matters is where you can envision yourself to go. That is the most important key right there. There will always be people who tell you you're crazy, you're dreaming too big, it's not possible. And when you hear those kind of things, listen, critique, but keep moving forward. It's essential you stay focused, you think big for yourself, for your family, and pursue whatever that vision is that you have with your 120% full passion. A famous quote, I'm a big person of quotes and everything. So a famous quote by renowned poet Rumi Um, it goes that, you were born with wings, why prefer to crawl through life? So similarly, in school, in life, and in your professional life, you will always be faced with moments of ridicule, moments of doubts, moments of self-question. And at that time, when you're in those kind of moments, having that bold and strong vision of what you want to do, what you want to be, is what will help you get through. And not everyone will believe or go with you, but that's fine. Whether it was business school or joining the largest retailer in the world and being promoted several times and doing different projects, doubts, questions, ridicule has been part of my journey. But knowing my vision is what allowed me to stay strong on my path and helped me to keep moving forward. And now number two, failure. And I'm sure everyone's heard about failure in school and movies and games and everything, but it's honestly true when I say that failure is by far the best teacher that you can have. And it's honestly one of the best things that can happen to you. And I say that full heartedly, having experienced many failures in my life. It's very important. No successful individual has reached anything in their life without failure. And as you go through the final stages of your high school and into university and think about your future, you will encounter failure. It's inevitable. You will encounter failure. However, the key is to learn from your failure, from your mistakes, and those who achieve success are the ones who are able to take their failures and learn and critique and keep moving forward after each setback. As the common saying goes that with every setback is a great opportunity for the great comeback. So I remember, for example, when I was in high school, I sucked at math. Like I was really bad at math, and I'm still bad at math. And I messed up on a lot of tests. But I knew math was something I needed in order to get into the undergrad degree that I was pursuing. Um, but with every bad test, with every test that I did not get the grade that I wanted and I didn't do good, it helped me continue to grow and excel. Because every bad test continued to show me my flaws, my areas of improvement, my areas that I thought were strong but were not very strong. And through each failure, I was able to keep moving forward to learn and grow and get to where I want to be. I've encountered failure in my work as well. I remember there was a very big marketing project that we had to plan. It was one of the first projects that I was actually given as like a new employee at my company. And I spent hours and days and like worked on it. And I remember when I executed it, it was terrible. Like it did not work, it did not settle, it did not land, and we actually lost quite a bit of money through it. And it hurts. It can be quite detrimental and embarrassing. But remember, the lower you go, the higher you will jump. So take every failure as an opportunity to get closer to success, to become a stronger person. And I say this with 100% full like in conscious that if I never failed, I would never be where I am today. And I want you to remember a quote by Allama Iqbal, and it goes by, "Oh hawks, don't be afraid of the winds. They're only there to make you fly strong and make you fly higher." So just like the hawks are not afraid of the winds, I want you to not be afraid of failure, irrespective of what avenue that comes through. Failure will come through in different places. I used to compete in powerlifting many years ago. And at my peak, I used to lift around 500-600 pounds. And at my worst, I've had a lot of torn muscles, pinched nerves, and much worse. But I didn't lift 500 pounds in one go. It took me several failures, several injuries, and several days of just repetition, repetition, repetition to get to the number I wanted to be at. And sometimes, so whatever it is you're doing, whether it's school, life, career, sometimes all it takes is, you take your learnings, you take your failures, and you just come again and try the next day. Whether it's your tests, your school, admissions, jobs, whatever it might be. And what that means also is that there is no such thing as a bad day. And this is a very interesting thing, because I remember whenever I tell people this, like, what do you mean there's no such thing as a bad day? So the way I've always characterized is that you either have a good day or you have a character building day. And what that means is you use the negativity, the failure to learn about yourself, to build yourself, to critique yourself, to become a stronger and a better person than you were yesterday. So whenever you're having a so-called bad day, take it as a character building day to learn, to build, and develop yourself for tomorrow. And finally, you all are bright students, and I'm not afraid of the success you will achieve, but I am afraid of the failure that you fear. Do not fear failure. Embrace it, learn from it, and take it as an opportunity to come back stronger, better, and wiser than before. Now, number three, purpose. Now, the biggest question that you always have to ask yourself is, why do you want to be a success? Why do you want to achieve this? Why do you want to achieve anything it is that you want to do in life? What is your why? You say you want to be a success, but what is the grassroots cause behind that desire? Your purpose, your why is by far the greatest thing that you need to develop, to build in order to become the success that you want to be. Your vision, your failure, it all comes down to your purpose. Having that why of what you want to do and what you want to be will allow you to push through your failures, tough times, moments of ridicule, moments of question, and it will allow you to become a success. For me, my purpose has always been my family. We didn't have everything growing up, and when we came here many years ago, we didn't have all the stuff that I have today. And so behind every tired day, every day that I question myself, I go back to my purpose, my why, which is my family, and it allows me to push through the hard days, push through the tough days, push through the tiring days, because that is where I see myself and I know why I'm doing everything that I'm doing today. So what's your why? Many of you want to be successful and achieve great things, which is wonderful, which is great, but what's your why? Is it to be rich? Is it to be famous? What's your why? And I will keep repeating that because it's a very important component. And while you think of that and wonder it, remember it is essential to aspire to not just make a living, but to make a difference. Through everything I've done in my life, my number one driver behind everything I've done is what kind of difference can I do with the work that I'm doing? The greater impact that you make on this earth through your work or whatever it is that you're doing, the greater the success you will achieve. Money will come. You don't have to worry about money. Money is promised for you. You will get the money. But remember, money should never be your driving force. One day you have $1, the next day you got 25 cents. Things change over time, but the impact that you can have on people is exponential. So focus on that. And remember, when you stay on purpose and refuse to be discouraged by fear, and you align yourself with this kind of infinite self where all possibilities exist. There is no such thing as impossible because you have a purpose, you're trying to make an impact, and you're moving for a bigger thing. And so while you start thinking about your next chapter of life, make sure you think of this. For example, as I said in the beginning, I've always been great at science. It was something that just naturally came to me. And when I grew up with the notion of becoming a doctor. But there was something inside me that had this passion for business and, doing something a bit different. And looking back, almost 10 years ago, it was a very difficult decision to make, and it was a big risk that I had to take. But I remember reading something somewhere a couple of weeks ago about how almost 50% of Canadians hate their job. It's an actual stat. So finding your why and pursuing it with everything you have, irrespective of how big waves and how big blocks come towards you, is important. So now looking back, I don't have any regrets about the decision I made. It was a big risk. It was a chance I had to take. And now 10 years later, alhamdulillah, I have no regrets at all. And most importantly, you all the young kids, you don't have to worry about it if you don't have a thought of it right now. This is a life journey. It's not a specific destination, a specific date. Take every day, take every week, and take every free moment that you have to start thinking about what's your purpose, what's your why, what is it that you want to do. And when you find it, you will know it. Because that's always the number one question I get is that, how do I know when I find my purpose? You will know you find your purpose when you think of it, you feel that joy, you feel that excitement. And when you pursue it, no matter how tiring it is not a chore, but it's a great day. So, and because, unfortunately, because you see a lot of people go through every day that, as a chore, and, they're not excited, they're not happy. And, unfortunately, a lot of people have succumbed to life's pressure. And while easier said than done, find that why, find that joy, and pursue it, because, this is your moment. This is your opportunity. The world is now digital, as, we're all seeing right now. So, the opportunities for you are endless, and there is no excuse for you to not do or find what you want to do. Lastly, number 4, service to community. My mother always told me that, no matter how I go, no matter how far I reach, the impact I have on others will always be the greatest success that I will be able to achieve. So in essence, to think up high, but to keep your feet grounded. To think big, but be humble in your approach. To push through boundaries, but to be kind to others in your words and in the way you treat people. Remember, success doesn't mean arrogance. So if you feel arrogant, if you get arrogance to the work you're doing, that is not success. And that is when you need to change your ideology, your path, or whatever it is you're doing. Be kind. Kindness is the cool thing that we need to instill, and it's the cool thing that is going to stay. And with that, just to now, like how 9 years later, here I am, talking to you all, hopefully helping you navigate through this next phase and next chapter of your life. As you navigate through your life, take the time to give back to others. Even if it's a text, a DM, a call, or whatever new social media tool comes out in the near future. Take your time to share your wisdom, to share your life experiences with others, and help them navigate through their journey. Muhammad Ali said it best. Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. So the primary reason is the gratitude, the blessings, the goodness that you get from helping others will help you. So and the success I received, while yes, I've worked hard and tried a lot of things, but remembering to stay kind, to stay humble, to help other people, to guide people, to support others. And it's not only about money, it's about time, it's about life experience, it's about wisdom. To support others is what's helped me get to where I am. So I really want this to dial in with you all. Please remember, be kind, help others, always give back. As I said, giving back isn't tied to money. It's your time, your experience, your wisdom. These are all assets. History doesn't remember the arrogant for great stuff. They remember the wise, the kind, the people who were able to make an impact on a person, on a community, on a team, on a company, whatever it might be. Remember that. So, vision, failure, purpose, service to the community are your 4 essential things to remember. But an important aspect that has been the focal point of my success is my deen. And I know we're in a generation where there's a lot of things changing, there's a lot of things happening on the internet, and it's very easy to deviate. But the importance of staying on the right path and not deviating because you have to, there is never a reason to deviate from your deen. As simple as that for success. If you want to be successful, build your identity and be proud as a Muslim. It's as simple as that. There's no maybe this, maybe that. There's no excuses there. I have instilled that in my work, where often many times we have meetings, but I will have to leave early because I have my Jummah, my Friday prayers. Or if it's like, eating halal, making sure when I'm in business meetings, business conferences, because we had to travel, making sure that I only eat halal food over there. People may question you, people may look at you differently, but no, that is your purpose. You are a Muslim, you were born as a Muslim, you found Islam, and you have to, be proud of being a Muslim. And, these kind of things, because over time you teach others. And it's funny because now at work, before COVID, when we were in the office, I had people sometimes like, hey, Anas, here's some candy, but I checked, there's no gelatin, or there's nothing haram in there. And it's funny how they know these words now because you've taught them through your actions. And what might not seem as like when you're doing it, you might not think you're actually teaching others, but over time, people learn. So don't be embarrassed to be a Muslim. Be proud. Don't be embarrassed of being different because you can't eat something, you can't drink something, you can't wear something. Be proud. That is your identity. You're a Muslim for a reason. And through these moments, you will only be blessed more. Through every trial, you get more greater blessings. I've seen the difference in my life through following and not following the deen. And I can tell you, the more you're on your deen, the more higher you will go, and the more greater your success will be. Allah blesses you the more you try. And it's not about being perfect, but it's about trying your best. And in this world, as I said earlier, there's a lot of things happening on social media. Like every time you go on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, there's all these different kind of challenges and different things. And, it's easy to deviate from the right path. So you will be tested, you will be questioned, but stay firm, stay humble, and let your kindness and humbleness of, your deen and the success shine through you. And, through that, inshallah, Allah will bless you unlimited with a lot of success, a lot of happiness. And remember, always put Allah first, because by the grace of Allah, I have been able to receive success. And by the grace of Allah, I will continue to receive my success moving forward. So, and with that, as I come to my close, you are all in what is the toughest, yet, the greatest inflection point about history. The pandemic has opened up a lot of stuff that needs fixing, per se, from healthcare to social unrest to so much more that has become transparent through this past year and ongoing, which puts you all at, our future at a pinnacle point that you can truly make a significant difference. The pandemic has shown, the need of skills, digital and healthcare, automation, AI, just to name a few. and something to consider as you make those decisions about your next journey in life in your university and your career choices. And one last thing is that that has unveiled is as you go into university is it's not about getting the 4.0 GPA or getting those A pluses, but how good are you telling a story? How good are you working with people? Whether you're an engineer, a doctor, a marketer, a salesperson, artist, it's an essential trait that isn't taught but learned. And in addition, resiliency, mental strength has been a key topic over the past year. And I say that because many of us have been pushed to exhaustion through the work. Like, during the early days of the pandemic, I was working 7 days a week, almost 16 hours a day. It was very tiring because we've been hit by several curveballs, but we stayed strong. And that is something that is essential as we look at the new workforce for the next generation, which are you. So study hard, but also study yourself, work on your soft skills and your ability to work with people, to work in groups, to be creative, to be able to withstand change, and also something that I was never good at, but work on your public speaking skills. These are essential. Build your self brand now. Start working on LinkedIn. As you go through this, university, the next 2 to 4 years, spend time on LinkedIn. Build your self brand. Build the awareness about who you are. So when you go for a job in a couple of years, and there's hundreds of people in the same room who have the same bachelor's degree, the same university, the same resume, what is that X factor, that different thing on your resume or in your story that will set you apart from everybody else in that room? So spend the next few years finding the X factor, finding your why, finding your story, creating your story, so that when you do go for a job, you do go for high level education, whatever it may be, your story stands out amongst the crowd. So with that, I come to a close. Remember, always be kind, to always help others, support others. Teach where you can, always be humble, and I wish you all the best of success. Please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or anything if you ever need any questions. Over to you, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you, Anas. I think that was really inspiring. I felt it. Thank you so much for starting our Sunday like that. So remember, everyone, vision, failure, purpose, and community. Those were really great reminders for myself. I want to take a couple minutes, let you guys ask any questions that you may have for Anas while we have him here. Feel free to unmute. You can send me a question in the chat box.
I have a question. So you said that you should have something that separates you, but is something enough, like being a strong Muslim or being an advocate for your faith, is that strong enough?
Yeah, because when you tell your story to a recruiter or hire or somebody, right, there's going to be always questions about, tell me why should I hire you? Or like, why are you different? Or what is it about you that makes you a substantial candidate? And those are where you tell the stories about how, maybe you were tested on your faith. Maybe you were tested to be a bit different. And how your faith has guided you in terms of different aspects of your life. So, I've interviewed people where they've openly talked about their faith, whether it was Muslim people, non-Muslim people. So use your religion as an opportunity to showcase you're different, because it shows you mental resiliency, it shows your ability to withstand change, and also not be succumbed to social pressure, which are the 3 most important things as we look at to the next phase of recruitment and people who are coming to join the workforce. We need those kind of people who can withstand change, be mentally strong, and also not be succumbed to the pressure around them. So I think it's a great question, and for sure, 100%, that can be your X factor for sure.
Thank you so much.
Anything else? Anyone? Don't be shy. All right, well, to be respectful of your time, Anas, I want to say thank you again on behalf of my voice as well as myself. Really appreciate your time, and thank you for the amazing advice.
No problem. Thank you, Sarah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
All right, everyone. So I see my speakers are here. I'm just going to break into the second half of our workshop today. So I want to remind you again of what the room breakouts are. As you can see, we have put a few individuals, a few professionals, as well as a few professions in each room. I want to remind you again, this is your time to make the most of it, right? So like anything, what you put in is what you're going to get out. These speakers have all been in your shoes. They know how nerve-wracking it is, how stressful it is trying to figure this out, and they're all here for you. My only ask is please be respectful of their time. They have taken time out of their busy schedule to come volunteer and help out. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have. Maybe ask them, what advice would you have for someone pursuing this field? What skill sets, what high school courses? They've been through the same routes. They know what it's like. Ask them what they wish that they knew before, like in your shoes, right? Maybe ask them what they like the most or what they don't like. So they'll definitely spend some time introducing their profession as well, but take the rest of the time, be open-minded. Some of these rooms that you may go into, you may have speakers that you may not have considered before or something that you weren't initially interested in, but I really highly recommend be a little bit more open-minded about it, and it may just surprise you. So without further ado, I'm going to break you out. We do have breakout rooms, so hopefully all of you will be moved into your rooms. Again, there is 20-minute slots, so after 20 minutes, you will either be moved back or you'll be already rotated into your next room. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be jumping through the rooms as well as Sean will be as well. So let us know. Any questions before I move you now? Okay. Have fun, everyone. Hi, Dean. Saha, I have just moved you. You should be moving soon, if not already. Hi, Sean. Just give me a quick minute. I know my speakers for room 4 haven't joined yet, so I'm just going to jump in and let the students know. Okay. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, no, I'm just wondering, do you want me to take rooms 1 and 2 for all the rotations?
Yeah, that would work too.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. I'll do that for the next one then.
All right, we'll give a couple more minutes as everyone comes back in. Bye, everyone. Okay, and that should be everyone. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed that. I got a chance to jump through the different rooms, and I know all of you guys had some really great questions. The speakers definitely were enjoying it. Maybe let's see a reaction from Zoom. How'd you guys find it? Thumbs up, hearts? Did you guys find stuff that you were surprised about? Are there careers? Maybe tell me in the chat box, are there careers that you're now considering and you didn't think so before? A lot of thank yous going on. Speakers were incredible. Yes, a round of applause to all my speakers for taking their time out on a busy Sunday. Really, really appreciate that. And I'll turn it back to Sean to say thank yous. I'll send you guys a survey just to kind of hear more feedback if you're not comfortable sharing right now. And if there's any speakers that you have more questions for, please feel free to send them my way. I'll definitely get you answers soon. And passing it back to Sean for my voice conclusion.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate you facilitating, coordinating everything at your end. You know, you took a whole responsibility on your own, and thank you so much. And thank you so much to all the speakers. It was a really incredible, honestly, every single point and every single piece of advice that was given to each and every single speaker was really incredible. And I've taken notes and definitely going to be using everything that we learned today. I'm sure all the students will be as well. So just want to, once again, thank Sarah and her team of professionals who contributed their valuable time today with all their insights and information. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write to us at info@myvoicecanada.com, and we'll pass on any of your questions to our professionals who were here today to give you advice. And also, please visit our website and subscribe to our newsletter so you can stay on top of any opportunities that we have coming in the future. So thank you once again, everybody. Really appreciate your time and help today, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Bye, everyone. Have a good Sunday.